Are you not entertained? Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the critically acclaimed Pop the Trunk podcast, now Patreon exclusively sponsored Hall of Fame. Recency Bias Radio, here to provide you all with the 17th rant of the season, entitled Enemy of the State. First of all, let's really speak on the elephant in the room here. 5 million votes, ladies and gentlemen, in one night. We should all take a bow. We showcase the power we have when we are united towards a common enemy. And I don't know if I should give Quinn the greatest compliment of all time, or if I should roast him some more off the audacity of he had to be this dang problematic for us to all be on the same page so much. I don't know if I should be outraged or if I should be inspired, but that's what makes all of this that much more funny, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that happened tonight was exactly on my BB bingo card to keep this game's entertainment value at a high level. That's the reason why, even though I held accountable Tucker, I still said I did not want him to go home tomorrow. I'm a big Kenny fan, but if you pay very close attention to tonight's episode, Kenny was begging people, whispering in their ears, please vote me out. I don't want to be involved in the rest of this infinity war. He was like that meme of that black girl drinking water. Bruh, that's Kenny right now, coach. He's hurt out here in these streets. He's a bit winded. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, in this rant, we are going to discuss, in my honest assessment and opinion, one of the best Eviction Night episodes in Big Brother US history. Yes, I'm putting extra hot sauce on the chicken. Yes, I'm putting extra whipped topping and sprinkles on the ice cream. I don't care, coach. What I saw tonight, what I saw was production step out of the way. Have you ever heard of boxing when people take step aside money? That way a big money fight can happen, so they get out of the way because no one really cares about them getting their title fight, really, because they're not a draw. So they might offer someone some money to get out of the way so we can see the heavyweight matchup we really want to watch. To me, we got that step aside. And we got to see Quinn versus Tucker versus Kenny. Quinn talked all this trash about how he would clap Kenny in something physical, how he would clap Tucker in something mental. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this comp involved physical and mental because it took strategy to gather those crimson balls. So, hey, all I'm saying, Quinn, is when duty calls, you didn't answer the call, coach. So kick your feet up and get yourself a cold beverage. We're going to really break down everything that happened tonight. Maybe we'll dive back deep into the Cedric and Tucker thing. But ladies and gentlemen, this is more of a celebratory evening. I want y'all to take your victory lap. We all jumped on the same page. We caused an unprecedented 5 million votes in one night. I have never heard of some stuff like that. There's certain TV shows that can't even get 5 million views over a week of people watching plus streaming. That's impressive. Now, I know a lot of us was watching that same commercial over and over to make sure we get them extra 5 votes. I see ya. But with that said, coaches, we're going to break down this and more here exclusively on RBR, where the real stars are.
I have been a fan of this show, of this man, since I heard him speak, since I saw him break down these games from a black, not just from a black male perspective, but also from a gamer. Like it's like he's played the game many times before.
I've been thinking, lately it's just me against the world. Round and round I'm caught up in this swirl, trying to dig and trying to burrow. Pressure turned this stone into a pearl. Lessons that I learned weren't always thorough, sugar-coated like a churro. Now I'm really out here on my own. Now my homies acting like I owe 'em, done extending out my arm. Made a lot of money from my poems, been around it, now they say I'm on.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to RVR. I'm so happy to have you back with me once again. Last night, we did a Wednesday night live stream in which I really provided more clarity and transparency as to why what Cedric was doing over this week was quite ingenious and how he wasn't getting his roses for not only feeding the streets, giving us entertainment value, but how many times have we seen an HOH play it safe, but they can't entertain us along the way? Cedric gave us just enough. You know, production, they don't like it when players make their decisions completely obvious to the fans. Cedric is the type of HOH production should love, because he even fooled a lot of us into believing he was believing Tucker a lot, when the whole time he didn't believe the guy at all. And that's what makes all of this even better. Understand, see, I'm not mad at Tucker. I want to see people compete. I'm not mad at Cedric. I want to see people compete. And even though I definitely utilize my platform in a positive way to get Quinn thrown up, because I saw the vision and what it could lead to, and y'all saw what it has led to, even though he lost to Tucker, just the optics of seeing him get dog walked by Tucker, it was worth it, injected. The idea of Quinn thinking everyone loves him for trying to place Angela in front of him as some anti-black shield. You feel it? He using her like anti-lock brakes. You feel it, dig me, coach? I'm like, what are we doing here, coach? And for America to still tell him, nah, bro, no bueno. We don't like that, coach. That's a W. For him to hit the block, immediately have to put on some weird halter top, and then have to compete. And you got these juggling balls swirling in the air due to wind and stuff. It looked like the type of game you would see at an amusement park, if I'm being quite honest. This was truthfully an equalized competition. This wasn't something that was pure intellect. This wasn't something that was pure physicality. This wasn't something that was even endurance, because they had time constraints. So there's no excuses here. Tucker deserves all of the credit in the world for actually exposing Quinn on national TV as an overrated talent. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real, dog. I haven't seen someone that the whole world was trying to prematurely hand this title of being the chosen one to, and him flop like this under the bright lights. I haven't seen something like this in a while. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You know, this reminds me of like the New York Jets quarterback that got drafted, but he wasn't any good. He was like from BYU or something like that. It reminds me of that in a sense. It's like, bro, we expected so much more from you tonight. Like, I don't even think he got up to 10 balls by the time Tucker had his whole 20. That's an astonishing just obliteration. Shout outs to my boy Exodia. Shout outs to Noah Lyles. I know he didn't get first today, but hey, he's still a gold medalist to me. But seriously though, coaches, I really enjoyed tonight's episode. Seeing Quinn immediately assess that he's got to go down there and compete. Seeing the pivoting that was attempted over the past couple of days on live feeds. Seeing certain players try to align. Rubina did everything she could to try to get the votes necessary to vote Quinn out in case he was left there. A lot of people did not bite at that bait because for their games it doesn't behoove them to right now. You know, players like T-Kor should be very concerned about a player like Tucker, because as long as Tucker is around, Kimo is not fully aligned to her or fully giving his universal trust to her. This plays a big role in why T-Kor has been trying to convince Kimo to let it go. And then when we watch the veto ceremony tonight, and then we find out Tucker inadvertently made sure Kimo caught a stray because he was so rattled, I'm like, oh, okay, this justifies why Kimo had to change his heart and say we got to vote out Tucker now, because Kimo knows this will blow back on him if he keep crashing out on Tucker's behalf. But everything about Tucker wanting this matchup was great. Everything about America giving him the matchup he wanted and him living up to the expectation was great. The only part I've ever had pause towards, and the part that truly came to fruition tonight, was the idea that if Tucker would have used veto on Kenny over Angela, I can create a very strong argument Quinn doesn't have the votes to stay over Angela. I can create that very strong case. I think Angela would have fought. She would have let her fangs come out. This would have been House of the Dragon, Rhaenyra Targaryen type settings, and she wouldn't have gone out like Rhaenys did. All right, she would have really scrapped it out with Tucker. She would have scrapped it out with Quinn, pardon me, and I think she really would have done what was necessary to burn this game. But if you're a fan of Cedric, everything that happened tonight was good, because Tucker certified himself as a threat above everyone that requires everyone to work together to get him out, which further backs up, legitimizes, and vindicates a player like Cedric's reasoning for not going against the house to work with Tucker, because he doesn't have the same skill set Tucker may have to constantly win out when he's in a pinch. Because of that, you should play a more measured game. Tucker can afford to be this wild. He's giving me a little bit of that Crazy James vibes from BB9 right now. The haircuts, the mohawks, the whole nine. I don't know if this guy got to watch some director's cut of Deadpool and Wolverine before the season started or what, but he's out here cooking something, huh? Like, I'm gonna keep it real. He looked like Travis Touchdown. It's looking like No More Heroes. Now, that's a great reference right there for the ones that get it. I do it for y'all. But I really appreciated everything that came with this episode. Production all week in the edit was honest. They didn't hold anything back, and that led to us getting an honest vote. For 5 million votes, the only thing I would nitpick in this scenario is maybe they should have let us know the top 3. But then again, if I'm number 2 and number 3, that ain't fair to me, dog. Don't make me as much of a target as Quinn is when I ain't the worst one. So I can see both sides of that. But I just wanted maximum chaos, of course, so that's why we would have rooted for some top 3 of some sort. They usually do it for America's vote, so I just wanted to have that information. But all in all, I just felt like tonight was the exact type of night. If you're not a fan of Big Brother and you have a friend who's been telling you, man, this season's really good. This might be the season that can get you into it. And you happen to have it on. Maybe I'll pop a couple of beers. Maybe there's some pizza in the kitchen, right? And they just happen to watch a little bit of tonight. There's no way you didn't see someone on this cast that made you go, oh, I got to watch next week to see what that person does. Like, Tucker has a certain electricity to him. Now, with the eccentricities of his new haircut, it makes it go through the roof now. Like, he's looking like kind of, what was the name of that game? He's looking kind of cloud punkish right now. Cyberpunk 2077-ish right now. But there's something for everyone. And I'm sure there's someone who saw Tucker tonight for the first time and said, man, this guy looks intriguing. Who is this guy? Then he pulls off one heck of a comp win. The edit didn't even allude to the fact that Tucker was going home tonight. Not really. Now, it kind of alluded to the fact that Cedric filled the group in with the move that threw Tucker under the bus, but they didn't really show much feed content to showcase that Tucker was really in trouble tonight. Make no mistake about it, Tucker would have gone home next to Kenny tonight. He would have. Now, maybe production had an ace in the hole by getting Kenny at the last thing to say, hey, vote me out, vote me out. But I heard Brooklyn say, no, let's vote out Tucker, because once we vote him out, Kenny would just quit right after him. Brooklyn is ruthless, coach. But that's why I keep saying she's in the best position and she's playing the best game. She's got everybody kind of scared to ever want to call her out. Now, Quinn, he's thrown her under the bus as being a fan of RHAP. Joseph, he also found out about this information. And with Joseph now being aware of the 3 C's and the Pentagon's formation, Joseph also is trying to get closer to Leah in the time being. This is starting to put Cam on a bit of high alert. I hope Joseph isn't making himself a target of Cam's the minute the MJs and Tuckers are gone, but that's just something you should deposit into your membrane. There's a lot going on right now. Rubina and Tucker last night finally made it to first base. They kissed. And boy, my boy was bricked up. I'm just keeping it real. It got to the point where he had to bend down and said, I need to do some stretches. I said, oh, you down bad right now, all right? Rubina, she got that Midas touch. You feel it, dig me, coach? And Buddy definitely showed up tonight like King Midas. He had his trident and he wanted all the smoke. So at the end of the day, I'm excited that the showman's curse is not alive right now. I'm happy that the first one in curse didn't bite Tucker for not using veto on himself. Now, one would suggest if you keep fighting against these curses, eventually they will bite you. But Tucker just strikes me as a guy that just goes against conventional wisdom. I don't think you can apply the normal laws of probability to a lot of what he gets off. The way he just bounces back, it's really a sight to behold here. I'm going to be honest with you. Watching Tucker versus Quinn tonight was in a lot of ways like watching Team USA versus Serbia earlier today. You know, I'm over here nervous, like I don't know how this is going to go. And then the outcome we expected ends up happening anyway, but we still walk out of the game going, wow, that was good. That's Big Brother right there. When even if you get the outcome that you thought you would get if Cedric would have just backdoored Quinn, the idea that Cedric didn't go rogue. His game is intact. The idea that Quinn, in his speech to be voted out, pitched to keep him because this guy, Tucker, is the LeBron James of BBAI Arena. I say, oh man, that's high praise, coach. The fact that America jumped on the same page for once.
God bless America and no place else.
The fact that we all somehow did this, it's like lightning has struck in the same spot 3 times. And that's why I keep trying to tell people, when I'm optimistic about this game, I have a reason to be. When I'm disappointed because week 2's feeds, let's be honest, that was a huge valley in between 2 high mountains, right? Week 1 and week 3 compared to week 2, ugh. And all I'm saying is, I hope we don't continue the pattern of even numbered weeks being low budget and boring. Now here's the thing. Coming out of an episode like this, I don't know how it can be boring. I don't know how. Tucker now is this enemy of the state threat for the entire house. Quinn is the enemy of the state threat for America. Now you see why I call this rant what I call it. See, the entendres are kicking in. But that's what I love about all of this. How long have we waited? Let me just speak on this. How long have we waited as black fans of this game to see a season like this? Where it feels like you gotta have real incentive to target someone. Where it feels like you really gotta earn your spot to stay in the game. Where it feels like if you try something slick and backdoor someone, they might not go, so you better watch all the slick snake stuff. I like the fact that people have to over-risk the biscuit. I love the fact that scared money don't make much here. And I also like the fact that Quinn talked such a big game about how great he was at this, that, and the third, and still got destroyed. And for the people that are probably going to come up with a narrative and be like, oh, Quinn threw it. I saw the lemon booty on his face before that comp started. He looked like a dude who wanted to win that badly. And after Tucker won it, boy, I swear he walked back into the house like... Hey! 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 Seriously though, Tucker walked back into that house like he owned the place. Give me the key to the car, I'ma pull out. Gotta what? Cause I don't know. You feel it, dig me, coach? Rubina, she looked like she couldn't believe what she just saw. She said, my man is back. Rubina knew her game did not go down the drain like Palmolive, coach. You feel it, dig me, coach? She immediately knew. And honestly, though, these are the things we love to see. I would have loved for Matt to win over Kimo and come back the same smug way. Have MJ, she start doing the grizzy or something. You feel it, dig me? The gritty. Man, I would have loved these moments. But this is where I'm starting to believe production took some notes in over the way the house reacted to Jag being voted out and being saved due to Matt. The way the whole house kind of celebrated, how that was like this feel-good moment. Even I liked the moment. I mean, it led to the season being terrible, but I liked the moment at the time for what it represented. I think production took that in and said, let's create more moments like that. And I think those moments make this cast feel more iconic because we get to see more of them go into the nether region, the nether realm, and we get to see who wins a shadow duel. And that's the part the Yu-Gi-Oh fan in me loves this. Maybe I'm a hopeless romantic or something. I love the idea of no one getting to see the comp. 3 people disappear and only one comes out of there with their honor intact. The other 2, lemon booty dependent settings. I like everything about that. Now here's the thing. We all know that this AI arena thing probably ain't gonna last much longer. We all know most likely the AI arena is gonna be gone once the twists are gone. I think the AI arena was created to be a fail-safe, if you will, to the overpowered twist not being too overpowered. Because in theory, those overpowered twists can get someone thrown up very late, and then the AI arena is placed there to allow players with no twist the chance to counteract that with a twist of their own, basically. I like the balancing of that. As a gamer, you love good balancing. If the game has good balancing, you're gonna come back to it. Why? Because you believe in the integrity of the skill gap of what it means to be great at the game. The minute the game has no integrity, the minute the game is unbalanced, that's the minute where gamers stop playing it. Because they're like, what's the point? There's hackers on this game. Ain't no way to really hack this type of a season. You gotta have a game, and you can't afford to go rogue too soon, because every week there are 3 people who could be thrown up pre-jury. So if you go rogue once, you're one of those 3 noms guaranteed. And now that Kenny's gone, there's one less easy pawn to nominate per week. Hence why I believe Quinn 100%, no matter who wins this HOH, as long as they're not in collective, I think he 100% uses his twist. I think if Tucker wins HOH, he uses his twist. I think if MJ wins the HOH, he uses his twist. Honestly, I'm starting to see Quinn and Leah starting to have some separation there. I don't know if he'll really trust Leah right now. To be honest, I think it has to be collective or the twist is being used, right? Because at this point, he used it as part of his speech to stay. And when you use it as part of your speech to stay, you're now going to be held to that standard. And because everyone is aware of now what it does completely, because he didn't have a choice in unveiling it because it was forced out of him, I think this puts Quinn in the position now of trying to win back the love of America by essentially using his twist to help out the people he will assume they voted him in because he wasn't helping enough. You see what I'm doing here? I alluded to this. I don't know. I still think Quinn, when it's all said and done, is going to try to plot the demise of the 3 Cs. But I think he definitely will think twice before doing it anytime soon now. Whereas I think prior to being voted up by America, I think he still had a slick move in him or two in week 5. I think he definitely would have tried to pull a DX backdoor Christian. Without a doubt. You know, so that's another reason why we've won as fans. Because with all due respect to Kenny, big fan, thank you for your service, both in the Air Force and at what you did as a detective. But you could just tell Kenny wanted to be around his kids. You could tell Kenny wanted to be around his wife. He even said in his interview with Julie, if this was 5 years ago, you would have saw a completely different sweet Kenny K. And I believe that 100%, Coach. All right? But sometimes your moment can pass you by to a degree. And sometimes we mature and we don't have that same mind to game like we did before. It happens to us all. So how many of us grew up with one video game that we loved to play? And now we look back and we can't really enjoy it the same way, but that doesn't mean it wasn't great for the purpose it served. I think those things can still apply to Kenny right now. So at the end of the day, I'm proud of Kenny. He won a veto. He had the full Big Brother experience. But he's also a player who was a permanent pawn throughout this game. That opens up a power vacuum of a placement slot for someone else to touch. And when MJ no longer has her veto, this is why what Cedric did last week was so key. Because now MJ can replace Kenny as the new pawn. This is why I put over Cedric so much, because what he did was also create a failsafe for the collective to guarantee have that extra pawn even if Kenny was gone. So this is another reason why I'm excited for week 4. Because even though it feels like it's looming that Quinn will 100% use his twist, there's still a chance, because I don't know how this twist works. I think if Tucker wins HOH and Quinn uses the twist, he still can't nominate Tucker, though. So we could have a scenario where Tucker wins HOH, Quinn steals his HOH but can't go after Tucker. I think this is probably the best feeds of the week we can get. Tucker wins HOH, Quinn steals his HOH from him to protect Cedric, and then they are forced to pivot and take out MJ or Leah. That's what I think is likely going to happen if Tucker wins HOH. Or Rubina, you might become the target of that group soon. See, before they said they wanted to protect you for T-Kor and Kimo's sake. But if now y'all are legitimately little bump and grind, now that y'all on that stuff, I'm sorry, Coach. Rubina, your threat level, I feel like Buddy from Drumline. I feel like him. I really feel like it's rising. You feel it, dig me, Coach? So at this point, the question remains, Rubina, are you going to crash out for this man? Or are you going to let him just crash out for you and constantly create distance? because this is tough on her. Because Tucker is a very unpredictable player, capable of blowing up, very incendiary sometimes with his delivery. How does Rubina traverse a game when she's such a low-key player and he's such a now in-your-face player? Now, people can say, well, ED did with his daughter, Dave. Yeah, that's true. But Danielle, she was cooking in comps we didn't think Danielle would cook in when we first saw Danielle. Right? It was almost like a switch got flipped when she lost that boy Nick. She said, oh, my dad hating on me now. Oh, I got to start winning. You feel my dick, me? So, yeah, 100%, Coach. I really do feel like Week 4 feeds is going to be good. Because no matter what happens here, Tucker is riding a momentum that's powerful. And as long as he wins HOH, we're at least guaranteed to see him Week 5. The problem, though, here is, Tucker, I think once AI Arena's gone, I think you're guaranteed to be cooked in this game. Depending on what that next twist is that they reveal during that episode no one's going to watch, I really do think you're going to be pretty much baked and air fried. Because all it takes is one back door with no AI Arena, and I just don't see Tucker getting the votes to stay. Not anytime soon. I think he has to survive, and hope his allies survive until they could eventually get one or two swing votes to work with them. But at this point, who is going to be foolish enough to go to the end with Tucker now that he showed himself to be someone capable of calling you out, justifying his call out, being a bit Bush League in his call out, but at the same time, he's capable of winning comps. People aren't going to want to allow him to compete for vetoes anymore. He's literally going to be Heisem. He's going to be Dennis. He's going to be the two most recent players who won too many comps too soon that had to be iced out. And that's why I am at least rooting for him to win this HOH. But hey, maybe if you're a fan of Tucker, maybe you would prefer him going out winning another AI Arena before they put him through that. I don't know. I just don't think production is going to keep AI Arena going all season. I think it's too many people involved. I think as numbers start to dilute more and more, I just think it's too much. And I think they're eventually, once they establish a certain baseline of ratings on Thursday, I think they'll know they can cut their losses a bit and keep it moving with the next twist. And we just have to hope and have faith that the next twist will be good. One thing's for certain, though, production. If you do bring another twist, please bring back the upgrade, downgrade. But make the upgrade twist a little less overpowered, though. Right? Make them something that's, that can help that one player, but doesn't turn them into Quan Chi from Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm saying? Like give them something that allows them to have confidence, but not something that blows up their ego to the point where they can never live up to their own headcanon. Right? And that's, of course, a reference anime users use all the time, right? But at the end of the day, though, I really appreciated everything that came with this episode. I thought the production value was really good. It felt like the crowd was really into the moment. The way everyone popped when Tucker won the comp, that showcased Tucker means something to a lot of people. These are the type of old school players we have missed throughout recent years. Not saying other players didn't have the capability of being this, but let's be honest. Now that we have a Tucker, can we all admit Cameron was not no Tucker? Can we admit it now? I think Cameron was on a cast with a lot of players no one really liked that much. So he was able to stand out a little bit easier. Tucker's on a cast with a lot more big personalities, and he still stands out immensely. That's impressive, all right? And for that reason, I got to also give you your roses there. But I guess now we can go into if who wins HOH, what they will do, but I think we all basically know what's going to happen. Anyone that's within the collective, they're going to probably try to backdoor Tucker to keep him away from winning veto. Because now, Tucker, if he wins the veto, he can keep himself off, and now you got to find someone else to throw up. And when there's 8 people within that group, 7 are going to be basically automatically safe outside of it. 13 players left. You only have a 5-player pool to choose from. That 5-player pool is as simple as, hold on, let's break down that 5-player pool. You basically have Tucker, Rubina, Leah, MJ, and Kenny's gone. So, and Angela. Pardon me. And Angela. All right, let me cross out Kenny here so I don't get tripped up on that no more. But yeah, so basically those are the 5 on the outskirts. Angela, MJ, Leah, Tucker, and Rubina. Those 5 need each other. Problem is, Angela's in a position where she does not have to really she doesn't have to make sure her loyalty is devout towards any of y'all, really. She doesn't have to do it, right? She can just float along and allow y'all to be targets over her. And I'm sure Angela's sad she's lost Kenny, because a lot of us had the feeling she may have had the hots for him. Turns out she may also think Cam is quite attractive. Angela's hilarious. All right, she's hilarious. She's definitely delivering. But so if you just look at the numbers, Rubina has to touch the block if the plan is to backdoor Tucker. I think you would be foolish if you are a player like Quinn to let Rubina stay off the block. All right? You would be absolutely foolish. Now, here's the thing. If you nominate her, you know for a fact she's going to choose Tucker with house guest choice. And a lot of these veto picks lately have felt like production brought the black SUVs to stack the chips in the bag to go a certain way. But with that said, I just think that's the best move for your game. Probably a Rubina, MJ, and I think if you're Quinn, you probably throw up Angela because you just got smoke with her. So I think he goes Angela, MJ, Rubina. I think it just makes the most sense. And I know they had the whole underdogs thing, but now Tucker has declared his game where it is, and everyone knows Rubina is basically in a showmance in the making with Tucker. It just makes sense. If you can't get Tucker out, you have to weaken him at this point. So the only way to weaken him, if you can't get him out, is to take out Rubina in all likelihood. I mean, I think that is going to be what the collective decides on if they can't get at Tucker. And you have to wonder, would Tucker want to win AI Arena if he has to face against Rubina? And if he knows the only way Rubina stays is if he doesn't win? Ooh, that could be a way to manipulate Tucker out of the game. Ooh, we talking strategy. We talking it, because he talked like he was willing to throw AI Arena just to be sitting on the block next to Quinn and do his speech. Now, I think that's all cap. Now, I think he knows it's up, right? But with that said, though, yeah, we talking that strategy right now. I think that's the strategy. I think 100%. Put Rubina on the block. She can't afford to flirt with Tucker as often. Create separation. Create a divide and conquer complex. Try to see if she's willing to betray him and maybe rat him out. Knowing Rubina, she probably won't want to do that because of how hard she tried to fight to get Quinn taken out. But feeds could be on right now and they could be throwing Rubina under the bus, right? Now, I'm sure people are going to wait until the new HOH is crowned first. But if you're anyone within the collective that was approached by Rubina to vote out Quinn, you have all the incentive in the world to throw Rubina under the bus because you don't want to be used as a pawn. And you want to frame Rubina as being Tucker's untouchable because that just pushes you further into the game. You just got to hope Quinn don't out you the way Tucker outed Kimo. That's the truth there. And I think for Quinn's overall game, he's got to watch the information he outs to people moving forward. Because everyone just did you a solid, bro. They voted to keep you by a vote of 10-1 versus Kenny here. So everyone is expecting him to use this twist for the greater good. America is expecting you to use your twist for the greater good. America! F yeah! You feel it, dig me, coach. And that is all for all my Comedy Central fans. I had to do it once for you. But now I'm on my way to the live chat, ladies and gentlemen. I did not plan to hold you very long, but I would love to answer your questions. Get your thoughts on tonight. Do you agree with me that this was quite the eventful occasion? Do you agree with me that this felt like a special Thursday night eviction episode that we will remember for years? I think people are going to talk about this night for a while. America, 5 million votes to throw up Quinn, to set up this matchup, and for him to get dog walked like that, I'm just keeping it real, bro. I'm just keeping it real, bro. If there was any way to bet on AI Arena results, people would be trying to come see Quinn, thinking he point shaving. That's how bad he did. You feel it, dig me, coach. But anyway, all right. All right, so now I'm on my way to the live chat. Now I want to hear your thoughts on this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you want to win HOH? Do you want Tucker? Do you want the scenario I brought up? Tucker wins HOH. He gets his HOH stolen from him, but he's immune from touching a block, so we're guaranteed to have him until week 5 at least. Or do you prefer a scenario where Tucker somehow doesn't win the HOH, gives us another BBAI Arena clutch? Do you prefer that? I mean, I think most fans will prefer the latter. I think most fans will prefer him getting this HOH, even if it's going to be stolen from him, and living with the results. Because that just makes Quinn sweat longer. Of course, it makes Cedric sweat longer. And it keeps the tension within the house high. If the tension stays high, no one feels completely safe and comfortable. That keeps fans of all sides intrigued and immersed in the game. All right? So that's the reason why I feel the way I do. Man, I got to learn to turn down this phone before I come to this live chat. Man, please don't forget to smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hope y'all have enjoyed yourselves tonight. Savannah says she's just Team Fun Feeds. I agree. Joey Savage says this season is already washing last season. I agree. This is why I tried to tell Jag Baines, bro, do not come over here with any of your narratives trying to sully this game. We are enjoying it because you're not on the cast, okay? Now, that's not the only reason, but let's keep it real. Even Joseph on Feed said, Jag is one of the most overrated winners we've ever seen. He literally only beat senior citizens to win the game. And I was like, ooh, you got cooked. You feel a dig me, goat? You got cooked. And he has every right to feel that way. And it's funny because Jag's a big Joseph truther and supporter. And Joseph was the one who cooked him. See, this is why you got to watch who you stand. See, Jag's starting to figure out the life of these parasocial stands. It's not as healthy as it seems. See, you tried to pick a side with Quinn whole time. He a bigger fan of Corey than you. Then you try to pick a side with Joseph and he says you're overrated. See, that could never be me. I'm just keeping it real. That's crazy, bro. That's tough. You feel it, dig me? Dorothy believes all of the alliances will break up very soon. I think as long as Tucker exists, I think they have a reason to stick together. I think he is that type of a threat that will galvanize a group. And this is the purpose Matt could have served too. But people didn't see the potential or the vision that I had for Matt staying week one. Now people are saying we could have had this moment week one with Matt. But people just like Tucker a little bit more. And I see why y'all would like Tucker more. Don't get the game twisted. But just like Matt, Tucker also made a lot of mistakes before he won his AI arena, before he competed in this one. So it's still similar things apply to both to me. And similar things apply to Quinn too. Jacob says, Rubina sleeping with Tucker tonight. Man, only if one of them got the HOH room is that happening, coach. All right. T-Jax, he did the Yachty line. Give me the key to the coup when I pull out. You feel it, dig me? Dorothy says she loves this twist. Honestly, I loved it too. But like with anything, I don't want to see it overstay its welcome. You know, when we were kids, what did our mom used to tell us? What did our parents used to tell us when we go over our friend's house? Don't overstay your welcome, son. Don't overstay your welcome, mijo. You know, them type of things, right? Because at the end of the day, you are being taught as a young kid, always know when to leave ahead of when people grow tired of you and they'll want you around more often, right? And I just feel like this twist, this AI arena I'm speaking on, if it expires at the right time, people will look back at it as something they'll want to see again. Like, I was nervous at first this AI arena might be some battle of the block nonsense. And it has completely knocked it out of the park. When I think of the matchups we have seen, we saw Kimo pull off an incomparable upset the first AI arena. Then we see Quinn get stumped out by Tucker. So listen, there's no excuses here. If Kimo can beat Matt and Kenny, Quinn should have had the skill set to be able to beat Tucker and Kenny, right? Let's just keep it real. Week 2, we saw Tucker cook Lisa up something serious and get her out the game. Now this week, Tucker inadvertently got Kenny out when I could create the argument he needed Kenny in this game. But because Kenny's head wasn't completely in the game, maybe it is addition by subtraction because Kenny was kind of more on Sid's side than his. Gone with the script asks a question, so the collective is targeting Tucker. Of course. That's the reason why they voted to keep Quinn by a vote of 10-1. That was a vote knowing that no matter what next week, as long as Tucker doesn't win HOH, he's the target. But as long as AI Arena exists, you have to guarantee you match Tucker up with people that were likely to work with him. And that's why I believe Rubina and MJ should be the ones still there on the block by the time Tucker gets backdoored if you're playing your best game. I think that has to be the priority list there. But yeah. Dorothy says Cedric can hold his own. I agree with that wholeheartedly, but I also believe Cedric was absolutely smart to not go completely rogue, because if he had gone rogue, I could create the argument that Quinn would have never gotten voted out regardless, and Cedric would be the one the whole house has an easy out to be after, not Tucker right now. Cedric positioned himself wisely to basically do room shambles. He turned into Trafalgar D. Law, switched places with Tucker, and that's why Tucker got butthurt, because at the end of the day, Cedric pulled off a great move. All right? Edmund says Tucker is the loudmouth. When he got beat up in the schoolyard, everybody saw it. Now, we can't speak on things we can't prove here, all right? But I like the passion. Hey, Tucker do got some people that don't like him, though. PJC asks a question. Coach, do you think there was any credence to the Kenny twin twist? I don't believe in that at all. In fact, majority of feeders, they suggest that if anyone has a twin in the house, ironically enough, people believe it's Tucker. So I didn't even know that there was a Kenny twist looming, or narrative about him having a twist looming. I had no idea. But yeah, I don't believe that for a second. I think if he had a twin, production would have swapped him out and have the twin who actually wants to play to stay in the game. That's what I think. You feel it, dig me, Coach? But yeah, let's keep it moving. Isaiah asks a question. Coach, let's be real. Big Brother fans need to hold themselves accountable for calling Cedric stupid, even though Quinn did not get evicted. Oh, I agree with that. But once again, listen, you got to understand, what I have learned from covering this show is everyone is not going to see the game the way you see it when you see it. Sometimes you just got to be patient with them and understand that one day they will see it, right? Like when I was younger, I saw the game completely different than how I see it now, especially the social game side of it. So sometimes you just got to allow people to mature a bit. Going with the script says Cedric knows there's no numbers. Yes. Isaiah asks a question. Coach, is it just me, but MJ somewhat likes Cam? I mean, I think MJ, because she says she requires men to be like 6'5" or something, and she's from Texas. I mean, how many people are 6'5" in Texas? Unless you play for the Mavericks, the Spurs, or the Rockets, the likelihood she finding that many guys on a construction project that's that tall ain't that high. So from where I stand, she could be into that too. You feel it, dig me, you know? And I wouldn't knock her. Trouble Curls asks a question. If Quinn puts up Rubina, what does that do to his relationship with T-Kor and Kimo, though? Well, that's the thing, right? Quinn will position it as this is purely a pawn, right? Let's just keep it real. First of all, T-Kor and Kimo, if there's a scenario where Tucker doesn't win HOH and he's the clear target, I believe they have all the incentive in the world to get Tucker out to have Rubina to themselves, because then that opens up Rubina to be all about them, right? So they should want to assist in getting out Tucker, because that expedites their plan of having a counter alliance to attack the Pentagon basically with. Because everyone knows about the Pentagon's existence, but because of Cedric's great gameplay, Quinn is forced now to stay loyal to Pentagon longer than he initially needed or wanted to. That's important, right? So because of all of that context, Quinn and Tucker are about to fight on feeds. Wait, what? Tucker called him a nerd. Oh, it's cracking. Oh, see. Oh, man, see, I told y'all this was the right outcome. Because, see, now Tucker, once you get one chance, it's like they say, right? When you get in a fight with someone, you just got to feel their power. Once you feel their power, you know if you can walk through them or not. Tucker now knows a lot of what makes Quinn this looming threat is all pageantry. It's all bells and whistles. It's all glitter. Shout outs to Lisa. It's all a whole bunch of extra special effects. But when it's all said and done, no. Quinn ain't that guy, pal. Trust me, he's not that guy. Tucker now can smell blood in the water. He's a shark coach. Huh? Like that Will Smith movie. What was that called? A Shark's Tale? I forgot what it was called. Great movie, though. But he can smell blood in the water on a Finding Nemo side of the game. And right now, Rubina appears to be his Dory. She's his muse. She keeps Bruce Banner from becoming the Hulk. But now's the time where she gotta let him just be the Hulk right now. He needs that HOH to guarantee his safety right now. And I got to give Tucker his credit, man. I thought he was engaging in way too much stuff last night. I'm like, bro, you kissing her, you're getting bricked up, you're drinking Modelo's, Especials, you feeling dig me, coach. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting no sleep. You claim there's some buzzer above you that's keeping you up. You're claiming earplugs. Well, he did win tonight. Maybe it is the earplugs, coach. Until further notice, we got to say it's the earplugs. But then again, he was cooking before the earplugs, though. We can't. That's placebo. So, man, this a bad man. Hey, man, listen. Hey, I'm just keeping it real with y'all, man. Hey, sometimes you just have one of them, what do they call it? Wonders of the world. Wasn't China from WWF one of the wonders of the world? Whatever happened to that list? It felt like it just disappeared, right? Tucker has positioned himself to be on some Ripley's Believe It or Not type stuff right now. I'm just saying. This dude got himself looking like, he looks like a heavy metal rocker, bro. Like, what is going on here? He got his nails painted. He came out after winning like he was playing a guitar. I'm like, bruh. No, this is different gravy right here, man. Where the mashed potatoes at? This is different, man. I just love the showmanship. Listen, man, everyone can't be interesting and entertaining when they're at their highest and at their lowest. Tucker has shown us he can be entertaining at his lowest or at his highest. That's a star for you, bro. That's a star. See, certain players, man, they face some adversity, they crawl into a ball, they turn into Audrey. Right? That's just the truth of the matter. That's what they turn into. Not this boy Tucker. This boy Tucker, he's the same guy. And for that reason, I gotta keep it real. It's refreshing. Sule Sori Khan says, Cam needs to try and keep Tucker to protect himself. The second Tucker goes, Cam becomes the target. I think this is playing a huge role in why Cam celebrates with Tucker. Why he entertained Tucker's perspective despite Tucker unleashing on Cedric. I think this is Cam's way of going, I need y'all both around, dog. I don't like this. You feel it, dig me? Plus, from Cam's position, he also is chasing the showmans. He need Tucker around because he also a showman's buffer for him. You know what I'm saying? But Cam, you better watch your girl, though. She says she a chubby chaser, and Joe looked like he just lost some weight. You better be careful, coach. And Cam out here throwing shade at Joseph, calling him, what do you call him, Puffy or something? And then Kimo said, we all can't look like you, Cam. And I said, oh, even Kimo coming out with the fangs. Okay, coach, true blood. You feel it, dig me? So just know, bro, hey, anything's possible right now. People are pivoting with the prowess, coach. All right? That's all we can ask for. But yeah, I'm just excited about what happened tonight, man. I think this is exactly what this season needed. I don't think, listen, I think people expected me to come in here mad Quinn didn't win or mad Quinn didn't get voted out. I wanted Quinn to know he's not liked. So now he can pivot correctly and realize all that weirdo dorky stuff that ain't gonna fly, bro. Just be yourself, bro. Huh? All the Corey game is so bad it wasn't worth a burger stuff you be doing. Let it go, dog. Let it go, dog. He even did another one of them tonight. Let it go, dog. You know what I'm saying? Just be who you are, bro. I'm sure you got family you could shout out over another man's family you've never met. Come on, bro. This is why America voted for you in the first place, dog. You feel it? I mean, we just want to see a change, man. We want to see the reverse. We want to see the reverse Robert Downey Jr. I feel like Quinn was Dr. Doom before Iron Man. You feel it, dig me, coach? You feel it, dig me? We just want you to use your powers for the good now. And it feels as if you're ready to. That's all I can ask for, bro. That's all I can ask for. All right? Because prior to tonight, prior to you getting humbled, boy, you was talking like all you wanted to do was flip on your allies. Now you're looking around and go, y'all all I got. Oh, my God. You did that for me? That's why I always say, be careful who you bash. Because only certain people going to have your back in your lowest moment. And they didn't allow you to feel like how Tucker felt. You feel it, dig me? Oh, man, people rolling tonight. Hey, man, listen, all these jokes coming off the dome, too. I'm over here just being silly, man. When I get a fun episode, I'm a fun person. That's just the truth of the matter. Once again, please don't forget to smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're enjoying yourself tonight. I mean, nothing I'm saying is lies, but at the end of the day, I think this is a great point for us to jump off at and lead into the next fourth week of this game, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't appear you all have more questions right now. I'm trying to get to these feeds to find out if Quinn and Tucker are really going to go at it. Because at this point, I mean, I'm being honest with you, Tuck. Right now, you got to hope to be Tuck Everlasting the laughs in this game. I'm keeping it real. Very underrated movie. Check it out if you never have. Trust me, really good. Catch you off guard. But in all seriousness, though, right now, Rubina hopes you're Tuck Everlasting. You finna be Tuck Everlasting, you win that HOH. She finna be upstairs all week, boy. She finna crash out. But with that said, Rubina, if Tucker wins HOH, I hate to say it to you, you need to separate from him ASAP, no Rocky, because you will be the target over him. MJ will talk her way into, well, actually, nah. Brooklyn's already said MJ and Leah got to go before Rubina. So as long as Rubina doesn't get into some, it's us versus the world. As long as she don't get into that mindset, I think Rubina should survive the week. But if anyone walks in on y'all and having one of your PDA sessions, it's icy. Put on a thick thermal. I think you're cooked. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Your game will be frozen in time, coach. Huh? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed the last two live streams back to back. Last night, we petitioned to America to do the right thing. Tonight, we saw the results of what happens when we're all on the same page, when we all value entertainment over our own personal faves or our own standum, right? When we all choose entertainment over everything else, you can walk out of the episode being completely content with the result. And now we have a scenario where we have that player who clearly is up against it. Tucker looks like Uchiha Madara in the Great Ninja War right now. The question is he going to be able to duke it out this entire game, or will he eventually get caught lacking? Who is going to be the guy sensei that just unlocks the gates and holds off Madara long enough for people to catch him lacking? Who's going to be that player, right? One could suggest it's going to be Quinn because of his twist. But it's highly possible Tucker wins HOH tonight. He is completely immune. It forces the overarching group to pivot. And in my honest assessment, personally speaking, I think the smarter game move for the long-term game is to take Rubina out over MJ. With MJ no longer having that twist and also not having Matt, she is nowhere near the same potential threat Rubina can become. If your narrative was Matt needed to go to squash out a showmance before it blossoms into something that none of us can stop, how can you create a reason for why you should keep Rubina right now when it's about to get real steamy and hot? I'm Dave Smith for Receive Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. And this was the 17th reign of the season entitled Enemy of the State. Hopefully y'all enjoyed yourselves tonight, had a good laugh. That's what I'm here to help y'all do. And hopefully this week 4 will be as good as I believe it can be. And hopefully we can overcome the even week twist. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you on the flip side for another one, all right? Until next time. Well played, Tucker. I'm proud of you. Contrary to popular belief, I can acknowledge Cedric did the best move for his game, but I can also acknowledge that you are the type of player we need to stay in this game and be guaranteed jury. Your box office, bro. And one thing I've never been is a hater, and that's why you're not going to see me hate on you right now. You earned that. And I love the fact that you, along with America, came together to humble Quinn. Who cares what happens in a couple of months? Because as of tonight, we all can agree